Hey everybody, let's turn live chat on. Let's fix myself. Whoa. I just literally finished a workout. I got home from the gym. I'm about to get in the shower. I have meetings for the rest of the night. And I figured I would come in, I would make this video really quick because it was promised, and then I will get ready and eat dinner and do my meetings for the rest of the night. Hey Courtney, I'm so excited people are hopping on. I just want to, hey Lauren, talk about, I guess, some fake news, I guess. Hey Susan, how was everybody's Easter? While we're waiting for people to hop on. Hey Lisa, did everybody have a good Easter? I just need to pull, hey Hollywood. Hey woman locked up before and after, what's your name? That's a mouthful. How do you deal with a fiance who's in prison and doesn't want any contact? He doesn't want air. Hey love, he doesn't want any contact with you, you mean? Hey Josh. Hey guys. Okay, I can't get back into this iPad where I have my notes, so give me 1 second. Okay. Hey Pikachu. Oh, that reminds me. Hey Bonnie, some of you guys are gonna see that I gave you wrenches because Pikachu was kind enough to teach me today how to make people moderators. So I had some people who asked to be made moderators. I had some OGs and some volunteers who I figured would help. Lauren, I'm gonna make you a moderator too. I just can't do it while I'm on my phone. He taught me how to do it from my computer. So if you guys are like, why is my name blue and why do I have a wrench? That's because I made some OGs and some trusted friends and some volunteers a wrench. I didn't make you a wrench. I gave you a wrench. I made you a moderator. Hollywood, I so admire your strength every day. Thank you so much. I miss you so much, Ariel. Hi, Melanie. I didn't see what you wrote that you typoed my name. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Carmen. Hey, guys. Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, Jenna. Okay, so if you guys are new here, my name is Ro. Welcome back to my channel. I help prison wives and family members feel educated, empowered, supported, and loved not only while their loved ones are serving time, but long after they get out. If you use the tools and exercises that I provide for you, they will get out, they will stay out, and you guys will live happily ever after. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Angelica. Hey, Linda. So many new names. Hey, Carmen. You'll kick me later. I'm so excited. Oh, Kimberly, great. Okay. Hey, Lex, you guys will see I gave some people some moderator status. So if you're like, why is my name blue? Because I gave you moderator. So a couple of days ago, she said, yes, Ro. Yay. Hey, Niela. So a couple of days ago, you guys, okay, wait, rewind. All of you new people, I would love if you smash that subscribe button so you guys never miss a new video. I do some fill videos, I do some live videos, and we have a lot of fun over here. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're new. If you're already subscribed, I love you guys. And then also make sure you give this video a thumbs up. So yay, I'm so happy you guys subscribed so that YouTube knows that you admire my content, you like my content, it's worth sharing with other people who need us. Because you guys know if you're supporting a loved one who's incarcerated, it's really difficult and you need some other people who know what you're going through around you. If you want also donate, oh thank you Pikachu, you're a sweetheart. So a couple of days ago, I made a video, it's right behind this one. When I come back and edit this, I will link it right here in the cards, but I made a video and it was called something like getting out of prison early. And the girl said yes about the fiance ignoring her. Oh, thank you. You see, I'm all over the place. I need you guys to help me. Okay, let's get back to that in a second because I just want to share this information. We could either do that on another dedicated video just to that because that could go into like a lot of detail, or after this, we'll talk about that. So I made a video. There is a Supreme Court case that we're watching right now because it's US versus Davis, actually Davis versus US, but we're not going to get that specific. So it could potentially help my husband get his quote unquote life sentence overturned. And the reason I'm putting that in quotes is because he got a 213-year sentence for robberies where nobody was hurt physically, nobody was injured physically, but they stacked mandatory minimum sentences on top of one another, and it created this crazy longer than life sentence. If he was sentenced in the state, he would have gotten 8 to 12 years. And if he was sentenced without that statute, without the 924Cs, the guideline range would have been 0 to 20 years, max range that he could have gotten, max amount of time he could have gotten, had he had the highest amount of criminal history points possible, he could have gotten only 20 years. But they came in and then thank you. He doesn't need to be in there all that long. I'm with you as well. So this is the second or third thing that has happened in the Supreme Court. It's actually the third, because there was U.S. versus Johnson, which overturned the Armed Career Criminal Act. There was U.S. versus DiMaio, which turned over 16B, and then there was U.S. versus Johnson. And I'm going over really quick because if you missed that one and you go back after this and you watch that, I go into depth and I explain that, but I don't want to make this a repeat for anybody that has seen that already. So basically, I was excited. I was like, I'm not trying to get excited, but this could really be the one that gets us out, because they overturned those other two, and in an article, it was literally titled, "The Last Domino to Fall," being this case could overturn the 924C. So the next night, I sent all the oral arguments to Adam. That night, the night of oral arguments, he called me and he was like, "This looks great. This could be it, blah, blah, blah." Then the following day, after oral arguments, he was like, okay, so how do you look up someone's charges in the BOP system? So if you guys want to look up Adam, I'm totally cool with that. Or whoever, if you want to look up your husband's charge, actually, I don't think they have their charges listed on the BOP system, but they have their name, their register number, their race, and their age. I should probably yes, PACER, excellent, Lauren. You can look up cases and charges on PACER, but if you want to look up your loved one in the federal system, it'll have their release date and it will have the location where they are, or if they're on their road traveling. So it's bop.gov. You plug in their name, you plug in their you can do it by name, but you plug in their name, their ethnicity, their their name, their race, not their ethnicity, their name, their race, their age, and then their register number, and you could find the information that way. PACER, you do have to sign up for, and I think it's paid, but somebody else here can help me because I've been really bad with PACER. So anyway, okay, so he goes, this could potentially not work for us because there is something called the force clause. So I'm gonna read it to you because I don't understand this stuff, and to be perfectly honest with you guys, my brain checked out when I heard that this was another thing that could potentially not go our way, because it's been one after the other where it's excitement and then it all gets crushed, and excitement and then it all gets crushed. So this says, it was an article that was written on November 27th, 2018 in the New York Law Journal. And it said, in September, the Second Circuit decided that the Armed Career Criminal Act's, which is ACCA, 924C, risk of force clause, which defines crime of violence for the purpose of the ACCA's firearm-related sentencing enhancements. So Adam's not ACCA, but he is sentenced under 924C3B. So is still constitutional. So 924C is still constitutional despite the Supreme Court's recent Johnson and DiMaio decisions, two cases that struck down similar provisions as unconstitutionally vague. In United States versus Barrett, the court held that conspiracy to commit Hobbs Act robbery, which is the underlying crime that Adam was sentenced under, was a crime of violence under the ACCA's risk of force clause, and that the constitutional vagueness issued articulated by the Supreme Court in Johnson and DiMaio did not apply. Now, before I continue, I just have a couple more sentences. I want you guys in the comments, just let me know what you genuinely think. What you genuinely think excessive force in a crime of violence would be. I am just so curious. So what do you think, in your opinion, would constitute excessive force? Just put those in the comments, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about Hobbs Act robbery. But let's get here first. Let's just finish this. Risk of force clause and the categorical approach. So on the last video, I talked about the categorical approach and how they take these different crimes and they lump them into one big category, crime of violence, and that's how they can sentence them with these enhancements. So Lauren says firing a weapon. Heather says violence. Okay, tell me what violence means in your opinion. If someone is hospitalized, okay, these are great suggestions. So the ACCA SPWA imposes sentencing enhancements ranging from 5 years to life imprisonment for dependent, again, I can't talk, use of a weapon. Yes. Excessive force to me is putting your hands on someone and hurting them physically with your hands or a weapon. Lex, that's awesome. Okay. So, for defendants who use, carry, or possess firearms during the commission of any crime of violence or drug trafficking crime. In U.S. Constitution, that's all it is, 924C 1A. While the ACCA explicitly defines drug trafficking crimes, it defines a crime of violence as a felony that either A, has an element, the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against a person or property of another, which is the force clause, or B, by its nature involves a substantial risk that physical force may be used against the person or property of another while committing the crime. The risk of force clause or residual clause 924C3. Okay. So let's talk about this for a second. I didn't see everybody's excessive force, what they would constitute a crime of excessive force. But here's the thing. Excessive force, okay, against somebody's property would be what? And how does that constitute crime of violence? So what constitutes force that is so excessive against somebody's property that it is violent? And disclaimer again, because for new people, I always say this, Adam deserved to do time. Adam deserved to do a significant amount of time. But nowhere does 213 years justify, or does what he did, does 213 years go? There's no justification for why he got that much amount of time. So if you guys didn't watch that video before, I used an example of this. In Hobbs Act, what they're saying is Hobbs Act is always violent, okay? So here's my rebuttal. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not 100% versed on this, but this is what the things that I've been told, and Adam tells me that I have a decent grasp on this. So, oh yeah, sure, I'll follow you on Instagram. Just put your handle below. And our Instagram handle is @StrongPrisonLives, so follow us there as well. So, here we go. I use the example of this. If there are cups in 7-Eleven that are made in China, and I go into 7-Eleven and I rob those cups, okay? That constitutes Hobbs Act robbery because I'm affecting interstate commerce. Where did those cups get hurt? What excessive force did I use against that property that constitutes a crime of violence or the force clause as well? And let me just clarify again. Robbing cups at a 7-Eleven is bad and it's wrong. And potentially, if you have enough criminal history points, you could do time for it. Cool. I'm with you. I'm there. We're tracking. But the fact that you're telling me that people who are, I can't say these words on YouTube, but people who have done stuff that is way, way, way worse, they're not getting crimes of violence. They're not getting 25 plus 25 plus 25 years, okay? So another thing, purse snatching can be considered Hobbs Act robbery because there is force used to take the purse. Purse snatching is horrible. If I got my purse snatched off of me or pickpocketed or whatever, I would be emotionally in pain, absolutely tracking 100%. But how is that a crime of violence over other crimes of violence that aren't charged with this? Does this make sense? The constitutional source of excessive force is under the Fourth Amendment law. Can you elaborate? Because I'm trying to understand this and I'm trying to make sense of it, and it just kills me because there was another case of Hobbs Act robbery where somebody messed with somebody's mail in their mailbox and they got Hobbs Act robbery. How is that so excessive that that's considered a crime of violence? It doesn't make sense to me. So when Adam was telling me all this, again, I checked out. I was like, I couldn't formulate words back to him, okay? So I'm trying not to have an emotional breakdown. And here's what it boils down to. My mother passed away a couple of weeks ago, and I told him, I said, you know what? I said, maybe my mom somewhere subconsciously wanted to get out of the way. Of course, like there's other reasons, right? But maybe she subconsciously needed to get out of the way because if Adam got out tomorrow and she was still alive, I was taking care of her. He has plans to go to Vegas and work with a nonprofit that is in his passion and his life's calling, and it is where he belongs. I would not have left New Jersey and left my mother. She needed me to take care of her. So that was me maybe rationalizing it for myself to make it all better, if that makes sense. So when he told me this, it crushed me because I'm like, now I don't have that defense. And I also don't have you. And so I got really quiet. And he goes, are you okay? And I go, yeah, I'm fine. And he goes, you don't sound so fine. So I changed my voice, or at least tried to change my voice. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I was absolutely not fine. I was trying not to have an emotional breakdown, because as much as I say I'm not going to get involved and I'm not going to get my feelings involved and I'm going to keep it at arm's length, how can you 100% do that? So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he kept talking and I kept answering him with or one word answers, not because I wanted to punish him. None of this is his fault, because if I spoke any more or said any more words, I would have physically had an emotional breakdown. So we got off the phone. It was 9:15 and lockdown is at 9:15. They called lockdown while I was on the phone. And it's funny how they call lockdown. Lockdown! And I'm like, my God, that guy belongs on Broadway or something. They're so dramatic about it. So they called lockdown, meaning he got locked in his cell for the rest of the night. He could not call me back. And so the next day I got an email from him and he said, I did not sleep well at all last night. I was so worried. He said, and I debated, like I toyed with, maybe I shouldn't have told you that. He said, but I will continue to tell you these things until you tell me not to, because I feel like you need to know every angle and every possibility. And he goes, you considered this 100% a bad thing. And I'm like, well, it's not a good thing. And he goes, well, it means that it'll open the door for everybody we've been fighting for 924C. And it probably will, if they don't specifically address the force clause, which in my opinion, why would they? They're trying to slow down letting all of these people out. If you guys remember in the oral arguments video, I said that one of the guys was trying to make an argument against breaking down 924C because he didn't want to let all those people out of jail. So he's trying to make an argument that this is right, knowing it's wrong. And one of the Supreme Court justices stopped him. And he goes, you know you're just saying that because you know the amount of people that it's going to affect. So that being the case, I truly don't believe that they're going to even say a word about the force clause, because they know that'll slow things down. So eventually they might get to it, but what's going to happen if they don't specifically address it here is they're going to have to, just like what happened with DiMaia. So when DiMaia went through April 2018, some people that were charged under the Hobbs Act, under 924C, were starting to get let out because it was crime of violence. In 924C, they say crime of violence. 16B was DiMaia, and it is charged interchangeably with 924C. So then certain circuits started letting people out, and other circuits weren't letting people out. They were seeing things differently. So Adam said then, the Supreme Court is going to have to pick up a 924C case to make this even across the board. So now what I think they're going to do is have to pick up a Hobbs Act case for the force clause after all is said and done. And that's going to take, at the very minimum, a year at the minimum, because we have to wait for a Hobbs Act case to come through. We have to wait for them to pick it up. We have to wait the whole session for them to decide to have oral arguments, and then we have to wait for a decision. So I'm not saying that this will be the case, but in my perspective, I think it can be the case. So I texted my attorney friend today, and I was like, I think Adam told me that we're effed for the whole Davis thing. And she goes, why? It was really good. So I sent her his email and she goes, no, those two are complete experts with 924C. They know every which angle of this. And she's like, I didn't see it. So I sent her his email and she goes, oh, I see what he's talking about. She said, okay. She said, I don't think you're screwed. She said, but I do see that it might get slowed down, but you're not totally completely screwed. So for me, it's like black and white. For me, I'm trying trying to protect myself. One of my girlfriends was like, it's not a bad thing to not think 100% positively about this because you have to protect your heart. And that's what I'm doing right now. But to be honest, that first night I got off the phone with him and I was like, I am done with force clause, residual clause, categorical clause, you name it. Like, I can't. Why are there 45 different roadblocks for the same freaking law? It just makes me nuts and it's unfair, and sometimes you just have to like vent it out and get it out and then move on with life and put on your big girl panties and be strong. So today, when I was just making some notes and getting that article for you guys, I have to get back into the iPad because I want to read you guys this. There was a note in my email and it said this. You ready? This is a note and it said, and it was just like a spiritual, like positive email that goes around called Notes from the Universe. And it says, invariably, Ro, a sudden disappointment, a bit of bad news, or a flutter of butterflies gathering in your stomach are all omens that a fabulous adventure is fast approaching. Hit me, baby. Love, the universe. Let me read that one more time because this is for all of you. You ready? Invariably, let's try it again. That came out of my mouth. So weird. I'm sorry. I'm from Jersey, you guys. I have the worst accent in the world. I want to get rid of it. I don't know how. But anyway, and especially when you're reading. So I'll read this in 1 second, but I want to tell you guys this. I did a workshop down at the Prisoner Family Conference in Dallas a couple years ago, and you guys, I'm going to be speaking there again this year. So if you're interested, it's prisonersfamilyconference.org. Get your tickets now. It's amazing. Thank you for banning if somebody was being an ass. So anyway, so somebody came up to me and he goes, after my presentation, he goes, you're from Jersey, aren't you? And I go, yeah, how did you know? And he goes, when somebody reads, because I was reading off of cue cards at points, when somebody reads, their native accent comes out. Isn't that crazy? And I hear that. Like when my sister was giving my mother's eulogy the other day, she did the most amazing job. Her accent came out, and we're originally from Long Island, so it's this weird like Long Island Jersey drawl that's mixed together, and it's crazy. And when I read to you guys, I can hear it come out more. So I apologize, but it makes me right, and unique. So anyway, let's read this one more time because this is a lesson for all of us today. You ready? Invariably, a sudden disappointment, a bit of bad news, or a flutter of butterflies gathering in your stomach are all omens that a fabulous adventure is fast approaching. Hit me, baby. Isn't that awesome? I love that. So I kind of needed to hear that today. I needed to get out of my boo-hooing. Somebody commented on one of my videos yesterday and they're like, you're such a crybaby. And I was like, this wasn't even a video where I was crying. Could you imagine if he saw the one where I cried for 30 minutes straight? But yeah, so I wanted to update you guys. I have a couple of really, really fun New York accent has its moments too, LOL. Yeah, sometimes it comes out with my coffee and my off. Ray just figured out what those little wrenches were next to her name. That's hysterical. So I didn't read any comments. I was trying to get through that. I was getting a little passionate. So repost comments, questions that you guys have. We'll stay on for another minute. I do have a whole bunch of really fun videos. I got a package in the mail today that I'm so freaking excited. First of all, I got a gift from one of you guys that I'm going to unbox on camera. But also, I'm so excited. It's on my Instagram story. I got a package. Every single prison wife or family member needs this in their life. And I was texting with Jess before, Jessica Kent, and she's like, what is it? And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so dramatic and so ridiculous. And I probably should have added a disclaimer. It's something PG, you guys. It's something PG, but it's adorable and you all need it. That was awesome. My husband got denied parole last week. I've been so sad. That quote is boss. Yes, I'm so sorry. There are so many ups and downs and emotional roller coasters in this. I am so sorry you had to go through that. Let me tell you, there is a strength that you never knew existed within you when you go through the prison wife, prison family member, prison lifestyle life. It is tough, and I am so sorry. That's why I started this. We are all here to support one another and to educate each other. So if you need anything, please reach out to me. I'm sorry. I put the link up, but one of your other subscribers put it to my attention that I'll have to be a mod to put links in the chat. Sorry about that. Oh, I can make you a mod, no problem. I just got here. Hey, Jess, I was just talking about you. I love being Chinese. Oh, I love when people are so embracing of their ethnicity. It makes us all so beautiful. I'm a proud Chinese man. That's awesome. Hey, Jess, saw your live earlier. Congratulations. Where did that quote? Yeah, if you guys aren't following Jess, she's amazing. Click on her name and go follow her. She just hit 10K subscribers today. I feel like a proud big sister. I'm so happy for you. You know it. Time for the big girl panties. Yes, yes, yes. I never knew I was this strong. You are going to uncover a strength that you never knew existed within you. No, it showed up and you can see it. How long can they take to sentence you? They can take however long they want. Sometimes it takes a while. We Chinese, yeah, I would laugh at the decline of Western civilization if I didn't live here too. Thank you for that. My husband got 115. That was totally unfair, and this is not good for our upcoming parole hearing. So he got 115 years or 115 months. You know, it's funny because every time I tell a new person that my husband got 213 years, they'll fight with me and be like, oh, you mean months, you misspoke. And I'm like, nope, mean years. And they're like, no, months, that's how, because that is how they count federal or jail time. And I'm like, nope, pretty sure I meant years. I know it's crazy. Or if I type it, I'm like, and that was not a typo. Okay, what did I miss? So weird. I used to have a Southern Belle t-shirt that said, put on your big girl panties and deal with it on the back. Yes, I want that shirt. Oh, a 115 write-up. Got it. Okay, yeah, just rewatch it. I got a little bit passionate. Speak of the devil. It's